William Openshaw, and here to talk to you today about Indonesia. One of the most important parts of Indonesia's industry is their rice planting. Rice is a grain, it needs lots of water to grow, and it can grow in many, many places. Its farming involves plowing the field and planting the seeds individually. And after they have grown and flowers come off them, you can find the rice in husks. The farmers then go out onto the field and cut these plants from the bottom with a very sharp blade. Another important part of Indonesia's industry is something that originated pretty much before and during the Industrial Revolution. Traditional cottage industries. Traditional cottage industries are small businesses involving crafts. They include paintings, wood carving, baskets, and mat weaving, as well as pottery. Customers and tourists usually prefer the traditional batik paintings because they're usually very, very intricate and done by hand. As of a calculation made in 2005, the population of people in India is 21.9 million people. The official language in Indonesia is Bahasa Indonesia. The reason why they need an official language is because there are so many different groups and so many islands that are included in Indonesia. One of the biggest groups are the Javanese. They speak their own language, as well as another group called the Batak. When the Batak meet each other, they basically cannot speak to each other in their own languages, so they have to speak to each other in Bahasa Indonesia, the official language. Another point are the festivals in Indonesia. Malasti, one of their most important, is a religious festival in Bali, Indonesia, where they wear their best clothes, they go out and they dance and they make merry and they have lots of music. Following this day is a day called Nyepi, on which on this day they basically sit at home, don't go to work, relax and think about patience, love and kindness with the family. What you can see on the day Malasti are the dances of Indonesia. One of the well-known dances is the Legong dance from Indonesia. The origin of the Legong dance has its roots in Bali, Indonesia, where in the 19th century a prince in Sukawati was in a coma, and in this coma he saw these two nymphs dancing a particular dance, and he was so inspired by this dance that when he came out of his coma he got people to do the dance immediately, and it became a very important dance in Indonesia. Here you can see their clothes and their dances. They're all very colorful, very natural materials such as silk, and all their dances, all their songs and things, they try to sort of with their movements and with the rhythm trying to convey stories and morals. Can we go back one slide? Now, another part, apart from the dancing, is music instruments. They pretty much have to be there when these dances are there. A lot of them look very, very much the same, but they each make very, very unique sounds that can work together to make a wonderful piece of music. And one of the most traditional and respected is the gamelan instrument. Architecture in Indonesia. Very, very important for tourists coming there. Indonesian architecture reflects the diversity of cultural, historical, and geographic influences that have shaped Indonesia as a whole. Invaders, merchants, conquerors, pirates, traders, all of them came to Indonesia to make their lives there and have imprinted their particular architecture there. One of the biggest influences, of course, India, but very strong influences, as you can see, from China, from the Arabian states, and of course after and during the 18th and 19th centuries, European influences on their architecture. Very important spot for tourists in Indonesia are Indonesia's national parks. They have many of them. Many of them are marine parks or wildlife reserves. One of the greatest ones to go to is the Komodo Park, which is named after its Komodo dragons, the famous and poisonous lizard. Many different beaches as well, wonderful tourist destination. There's a beach called Kuta, beach called Black, Sumbawa, Volcanic, Lipa, Lovina. These are all names of very good beaches to go to in Indonesia. Here's a picture. Moving on to mountains in Indonesia. It is a very, very, very mountainous region. There's Mount Merapi, Mount Merbabu, Mount Panggulubau. One of the most famous being Pokok Liok, which is a very big mountain, which many think might be a volcano. Volcanoes in Indonesia. There are many, many, many volcanoes in Indonesia. It's a very, very, very volcanic region. Many of them are active. And the reason why Indonesia is such a great place to farm in, such a hub for agriculture, is that whenever a volcano goes off, it sends ash into the sky and changes the climate of the region, making the soil fertile, destroying old ground, just refreshing the region anew. Picture.